We would be starting off the discussion first with a welcome, with a market overview note by my colleague Chetan, which is something that I, just as you are, very eagerly looking forward to.
Morning, everyone. My name is Chetan Parekh. I'm the managing partner for the MENA FinTech practice. It's sheer pleasure to share with you the market perspective. Again, as Ram rightly mentioned, the market has shifted, and that's what we've seen over the last 3 years. It shifted in 2 dimensions. First dimension is the size of the business. So we'll start with the size of the business. Can you go next? So we'll start with the banking and how banking has changed from GCC and UAE perspective. So when you look at the banking on the left, very, very interesting. All of us used to know GCC, biggest market, Saudi Arabia, more people in Saudi than UAE, 4 times more people in Saudi than UAE. See what has happened to the banking assets. As of this year, 12.4 trillion banking assets. UAE, largest market with 4.1 trillion. So anybody who believed Saudi is largest, that's no more true. UAE's banking system is the largest banking system in total assets at 4.1 trillion. Clearly, UAE is making a very, very big mark, and it's growing rapidly. Last 3 years, you can see the CAGR. We are growing faster than the GCC at 6.8. Very interestingly, the growth has come from multiple domains. Of course, affluence moving has created a huge growth on assets, right? It's per capita assets, which is the huge growth. But also the digital and instant is making a big difference. UAE will be one of the first markets to implement NPSS. Others are coming in, but still we are the fastest in terms of number of banking entity going with real-time payments. We have 25% higher mobile apps download than anyone else. So clearly people are downloading much, and personalized digital banking is what GCC is moving towards. Now when you look at the UAE on the right side, it's 90% of consumer confidence. That's very, very big number. And $1 billion invested in FinTech startups. So if anybody believes all these startups are coming from subcontinent, that's not true. There's a fair bit of startup invested in between UAE and Saudi Arabia. In fact, Saudi Arabian fund is making a condition for startups to be domiciled in Saudi Arabia. Right? So that's where shift is happening. And almost 50% of UAE banks are now looking at a generative AI solutions for financial services. As Ram rightly said, if you're not using ChatGPT for your business, then you're missing a huge amount of knowledge. Interestingly, another big area of growth in UAE is the Islamic banking. So within conventional to Islamic, if you see, there's a stark difference from an 8% to 15%. And it's growing to become 20% of the market. Islamic banking is already at 20% of UAE's assets, right? And increasing with a double-digit growth compared to conventional. Again, when you look at the GCC, again UAE clearly stands out. One of the big barometer is how the physical channels are going down. So physical channels like branches, ATM, across the board in all the geographies going down at an average 4.9 to 5%. Even the ATMs are going down across the markets. So if anybody believed digital means more channel, channel means more ATM, that's no more true as well. Right? And UAE again leads the show there with 10 plus digital banks in UAE. So clearly a shift which is happening. Some of the other markets like Oman, Qatar is yet to see a digital bank. They are drafting digital regulation, where UAE is in advanced stage of global market digitization. Again, when you look at the trends within the banking, It is the digital banking growth with series of initiatives from government, from national innovation strategy to an artificial intelligence strategy, articulation by 2031 a vision, and amid its blockchain. So banking on digital, both channels as well as digital banks are up for a huge growth. Adoption of Gen AI. So this brings completely new skill sets to the banks, to financial institutions, and new generation of fintechs. There are series of fintechs here in customer experience. Earliest versions, chatbots we all know, which used to come out 2 years back. Today, there is data fintechs, looking at data in AI, your document management system becoming digitized. So huge amount of adoption of Gen AI and the real use cases from multiple fintechs. Again, the fintech is going to drive this from collaborating with the banks and providing the solutions. And another major area for UAE is sustainable growth. As part of the vision and government's direction, the ESG and sustainability is again going to attract. Some of the largest bank in UAE launch sustainable financing. So if you are in a sustainable business, there's a special finance schemes for you. So that's what is changing in a big way. Moving to digital banking, and again, remember, not digital bank, digital banking, which is much bigger than digital banks. Right from 90s when we used to have an internet bank to 2021 onwards when open banking to a rise of AI, this is completely shifting the paradigm what digital banks can implement. Now what's so unique? Why it is catching up so much? One, of course, is convenience. It's hugely convenient to bank digitally compared to go and find a parking, see a bank officer. But first and foremost, it's a simple product. It's a simple lifestyle product which is delivered by digital banks. So they are not complicated. Banking has become too complicated for retail. This package, that scheme, that pricing. So it's a simple product, MVP rollout, continuous improvement. So MVP rollout ensures that most mobile apps are growing in terms of capabilities, new innovations. And it's monthly. So it's not really, as many of you know, Google does monthly thousands of releases. Similarly, most mobile apps now, we see a monthly release coming out with a MVP quarterly or half-yearly delivered. Third, collaboration. Kind of collaborative offer. Many of you who live in Dubai know, if you are using Careem, HSBC will offer you 3 other lifestyle mobile apps free of cost. So suddenly your lifestyle is being addressed by the mobile app. Right? There are a couple of very interesting super apps which is around in the market as well. So collaboration is bringing value to the customer, which a traditional bank is not able to bring. And that's why it's going to be one of the rise. Last but not the least, with open banking and open finance getting finalized in 2024 and 2025, the non-financial players will suddenly offer financial services with the help of a manufacturing of the product done by a digital bank or a traditional bank, offered by an open banking player. So that's where the evolution is moving from a digital perspective. Again, where the maximum innovation is going to be on customer onboarding, distribution, which is shifting from branch, and scalable infrastructures, where suddenly cloud is being adopted by most of the UAE banks. And it's happened in last 18 months. Looking again, industry process and tech partners, BPMs, which used to be some of the early automation initiatives, have now become standardized and generative AI driven. Scalable infrastructures and straight through processing. So today, if you are receiving an app and if you are not processing STP, it's going to create a huge challenge of processing at the back end, because size of the volumes in UAE can no more be managed by a human workforce. Again, you look at the numbers, the transactions are growing at 42% CAGR on digital. So it's not a CAGR of anything above 15% is considered super healthy. We are talking about 42% growth. So this is going to explode. If you speak, this is the latest survey, 2024 Q1, which indicates 90% of residents are now banking online and 86% is open to digital only. They don't need branches, they don't need any traditional banks. That's a huge shift in consumer mindset. And 4 banks, between them, they have 2 million customers, which are digital only customers. Yeah, so in a 7.5 bankable population market, 2 million customers are banking with these banks. And it's growing rapidly, double-digit growth. Yeah? So clearly decreasing physical branch. Digital banks are holding 19% market share now. That's a very commendable market share in this kind of a size of economy. And mobile payments, which is only going to go up north because of NPSS and other services getting launched as more and more address-based services or overlay services will be launched. This will become more and more popular as we speak. Again, there are 3 models in the industry we are seeing. There are traditional bank with a strong app like Amirit's NBD X app, which has given a very interesting perspective to Fab's new app, to a traditional bank with the full-fledged digital arm, and they have been again growing in a very, very good way. And then there are challenger banks, which has come and challenged the market. They started thinking differently, and they don't have any branches or service centers. So all 3 models are growing. So if anybody believes only one model is successful, that's not true as well. Each model has its advantage and its customer segment. So it's micro-segmentation driven, different digital models which are growing. Again, when you look at what differentiates in digital world, number 1, your onboarding, your straight-through processing, people are able to apply a loan straight through. There is no need of any offer letters exchange, acceptance of everything on mobile app. Generative AI becoming service as well as processing intelligent. It's not going to replace human, but it's going to make it intelligent. A hyper-personalized offering, right from a student to an affluent. How do you give personalization in the same app? And most important, UI UX, the kind of UI UX which gets delivered is so embracing that customer sticks around on the mobile app. Many people open their mobile apps on digital banks more than once a day. Now that's not normal. People used to do banking 4 to 5 times a month. Now people are opening their banking app daily multiple times. So that's a huge, huge shift. And all thanks to, they want to see what's new in the UI UX, what's changed. Again, so if you have to look at bank for future, what would be some of the key considerations? So from where the traditional banks were doing multiple projects, automations, to KPIs and people-driven, to a very, very collaborative, customer-centric, for customer and for the segments, iterative approach. Same mobile app goes through 7 or 10 times a design change in a year. Granularized and componentized technology. So again, how do you make it nimble, simple technology? Not go for the monolithic cores, large digital platforms which are difficult to manage, multi-channel platforms. So it's all going towards open source, modern. So many, with all due respect to IBMs of the world, so many banks have moved out from a high payment technology, expensive technology, to an open source technology. Right? So that's the shift which we are seeing. And lean, which was earlier implemented as a optimization technique, is now used as a design technique, along with the design thinking in designing the solutions. So that's what's it's shifting. And I think key imperatives for bankers in the room would be, do not be afraid to invest into generative AI. It's not about people. It's about intelligence and doing much more. So that's what generative AI does. Enhancing your experience, that's going to differentiate you as a digital bank. Embrace the open finance coming in. Select your partners, collaborate with your partners. Implement Agile if you have not done so far. I think most digital organizations are built on Agile. But this is one big thing. Agile model ensures continuous delivery and continuous innovation. Focus on security. As digitization increases, there's going to be a huge risk on reputational risk on cybersecurity aspect. And enhance your API offerings through partners. Not every product you will be able to take it to the market. How your partners can sell your products through your B2B APIs. Yeah, so as a bank, expand your horizon. It's not going to be branches. It's going to be your partners. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you so much for sharing with you the market insights.